Hello and welcome to the mental wellness channel, Higgs. My name is Wahiga and I am a recovering alcoholic, and this is the mental channel with Higgs, aka Wahiga. Today, guys, I want to talk about something that is very near and dear to me, and that is depression. I want to talk about dealing with depression in 2021 and how I have dealt with it. Sorry about the noise. We have monkeys where I stay, and you might be hearing a lot of jumping and stuff like that. That's the monkeys jumping on the roof. Sorry about that. So, dealing with depression in 2021. First of all, let me give you a brief story about how I got into depression or how it happened to me. From the age of 12, there's something that changed in my moods. I don't know why, but for some reason I became very moody and I tended to be very introverted. I'm still an introvert, but I really just went deep into myself, and it was more in a negative way, okay? And I started experiencing thoughts of being homicidal and suicidal at the same time. And I was a very intense child. Now, those were my first, if I can look back, those were my first encounters with depression. Something in me, I don't know whether it was a chemical imbalance or a biological, entity or something that just happened that triggered that in me. And my behavior became very withdrawn, especially towards my family and my family members. And life became very hard. It was very hard for me to express how I was feeling. And if I did express how I was feeling, it came out in a very angry tone. So that was put on pause when I found alcohol, which initially was my medicine in terms of curing my depression. Alcohol immediately evaporated the depression. I came out to play. All of a sudden, I was happy. I was playful. The real Wahiga could come out, or so I thought. And I struggled with alcoholism for a very long time. Well, I still am an alcoholic, but I struggled in active alcoholism for a very long time. I got sober in 2017 and I thought, great, my life is going to be perfect now because I'm sober and things will just be great now. I'm sober, the demon is out, the demon has been contained rather, and life will be great. That's not what happened. I got sober and it's like I picked up from where I left off when I was 12. All those feelings of suicide and homicide and intense, just this ferocious anger and depression really came like sevenfold. And I became very depressed. Now all of a sudden I didn't have alcohol to numb me. And besides that, alcohol had stopped working. Alcohol had stopped working from like 2013. Alcohol had stopped working. So until I got sober from 2013 up to 2017, I was just drinking into oblivion. There was nothing that alcohol was helping me do. I was just completely hooked and dependent on it. In my sobriety journey from 2017, I got to a point when I was 6 months sober that I completely got into the worst of my depressions. I would break down. In private, in public, it didn't matter. I would break down because I was too overwhelmed with feeling. Let me tell you, when I'm inactive and when I was in active addiction, there was no feeling. I didn't feel for a very long time. That's why I could manipulate, I could lie, I could steal, I could do all the things I was doing without feeling bad, right? my number one goal in life at that time was to live to drink and to drink to live. That was it. That was my mantra. And so when I got sober and started feeling, I was overwhelmed with feelings of guilt, with feelings of worthlessness, with feelings of suicide. Like I just wanted to end it. I didn't understand. I couldn't comprehend the things that I had done when I was in active addiction and the person I was trying to be in sobriety. The two were like night and day. It didn't make sense, number one. Number two, I had gone undiagnosed with this depression. It was clinical depression, but I was undiagnosed. And I was using alcohol as a way to self-medicate, which I find a lot of addicts do actually. It's always an undiagnosed mental illness. And then we either use drugs or alcohol to kind of camouflage or to self-medicate, to find relief from whatever that ailing or that ailment may be, from what the first mental disorder was. Because remember, alcoholism and drug addiction is a mental illness in itself. So if I have one, clinical depression, and then I add two, alcoholism, those are now two mental disorders that I have, right? But I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know if I was an alcoholic first that became bipolar, or I don't know if I was bipolar first and then, became an alcoholic. I don't know. And I don't think it's my job to find out. It happened, okay? It happened, and this is what I'm dealing with. Fast forward, 2018, I got hospitalized for the first time because I just could not take it. I also I've been finding out that I have seasonal depressions on top of normal depressions. So I have this block of time throughout the year. I would say from January and February, where I start going downhill in my mood. And I start slipping into a depression. And by March, things are really bad. And I've been noting this ever since I got sober. Things get really bad in March. And I stay in that depression until September, right? So it also seems to happen in the colder months. And that is also where seasonal depression comes in. In the colder months, I'm generally just in a depression. And it goes more than saying, oh, I'm just in a bad funk. No, I'm actually in a depression where I'm not functioning. When I say I'm in a depression, I mean I'm not able to function like a normal human being. It gets to the point where my energy levels are out of whack, where I sleep too much, and I sleep because I use it as an escape plan. It's an escapism. And I also sleep because I don't have the energy to face the day. And I sleep because I need to quiet my mind, or I need to take a break from the suicidal thoughts. Because every day that I'm in a depression, the fight is against taking my own life. Because there are thoughts that just continue in a loop from the second that I'm conscious to the second that I'm unconscious, which is, Wahiga, you need to take your own life. Wahiga, you did not get sober so that you can suffer some more. Wahiga, you will never amount to anything. Wahiga, look at all the harm that you are causing your family. Wahiga, look at all the troubles that you place upon your family. Wahiga, look at the financial burdens that you are. Wahiga, you're just a burden to everyone. Wahiga, you're so selfish. Wahiga, you'll never change. Wahiga, who told you you'll ever amount to be a good person? Wahiga, your life means nothing. Wahiga, Wahiga, Wahiga. And the worst thing is that this voice is in my own voice. And it's so relentless. It just on a loop every single day. Obviously, you get so tired mentally, the gymnastics, because you're there telling yourself, but no, God saved me for a reason. But no, no, I got sober for a reason. This could have not just been for nothing. No, my life is a testimony. No, I'm made for better and greater things. No, this can't be the end. No, I've been through worse. No, I will get through this. No, there's so much you can tell yourself, you know. And even people from the outside will tell you, but no, you're so beautiful. You're so amazing. I mean, you're so intelligent. You have everything going for you. And that voice in your mind will just tell you, look at them, they're just lying to you out of kindness. They're just lying to you so that they don't hurt your feelings. But everybody knows that you amount to nothing, Wahiga. And when you get that conversation going in your head 24/7, 7 days a week, 30 days in a month, every month, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. How long? How long can you take it before you finally give in to the voice? That's why I always pull the plug and I say, you know what? I can't handle this. I literally cannot handle what is going on in my brain. The wiring is messed up. And it's a lunatic zoo in there, okay? It's a bad neighborhood going on in my head. I end up with such a negative emotional and internal environment. Nobody would want to live in me. It gets that bad. And those are the times that I reach out for help. And I tell the people that are closest to me, I think it's time to go to hospital. I think it's time to change my medications. I think it's time to see the doctor because I can't take it anymore. The mental and physiological agony is exactly that. It's agony. It's hell on earth. It's a mental prison that you literally cannot break out of. And sometimes it looks like the best and the only solution is to silence that prison by shutting it down. And this is where the thoughts of suicide really start to look very tempting. And I've been there before. I have been there numerous times. 2021 March is when I had my last suicidal thoughts, and they were very bad, to the point of acting on them. I OD'd on prescription medication, and literally 5 seconds after I OD'd on that medication, it's like a veil had been removed from my eyes, and I could see that I wasn't alone. And it's as if God or a voice told me, Waihiga, not like this. And I said, okay. So I went and I made myself sick. I threw up and I threw up. And right after that, I was scared to go to sleep because I thought that I would sleep forever, and I didn't want that to happen because I felt like I had made a mistake and that there was actually hope at the end of a very long tunnel. And I slept for a few hours and I woke up the next day and it was a Friday. And I remember being so grateful that one, I was alive, and that two, I was sober. And I had a new sense of gratitude for living, you know. And so I reached out again and I asked for help, and I went to hospital and I was admitted. And for me, being admitted in a mental institution is nothing bad. It's never a bad thing. It's not a sad thing. It's nothing to be like, oh my gosh, don't talk about that. It's a very liberating feeling because I feel like I'm finally in the hands of people who understand what I'm going through, that this is a disease, and I'm in able hands. And these are the people who will know how to fix whatever is wrong with me. And so I can let my guard down. And I don't have to look at everything around me like, can I kill myself by doing this? Can I control myself? Can I? Everything is just safe, and the people around me are equipped with the knowledge and the medicine to help me. And it's a very easy surrender for me. It's a very easy surrender for me. So that's what I did. Just submit to it. And my medications were changed a bit. Tapper this, add that. The first night, I think I got an injection, for sleeping, because I hadn't slept in so long, peacefully, and just stabilize on the medication and start on pick up on therapy again and thought patterns again. That's another thing about depression. It debilitates me to the point where even trying to work on therapy or thought patterns and cognitive behavioral therapy is so difficult because I'm not in a position to do the work. I'm not in a position to take the advice of my therapist and start, actually implementing or trying to put these things or these advices into my everyday life. It's only where I'm at a normal point, at a neutral point, when I'm not depressed, that I can be able to now start using the tools like, intercepting my thought processes, or, going for a jog, or eating healthy, things that can help me not fall back into a depression. That's when I can do that stuff, when I'm at a neutral place. But if I'm already in a depression, it's very hard. It's close to impossible to start doing the feel good things, because at that point I can barely even take a shower, right? Barely take a shower. I can barely function. So depression for me is a very touchy subject because it's still something that I am experiencing. And it is something that it touches me. It, it touches me because it's internal. It's within me. And it feels so unpredictable. Just when you feel like you're doing better, it can just poke its nasty head and bring you down. It's also difficult because of what it does to the people around me. It's been very hard to maintain friendships. Like, my friends, my family have really had to try and understand that this is not Waihiga, this is a disease. And the people that have not understood that find it very difficult to keep up a relationship with me. Because for those 8 months that I'm in a depression, I'm not maintaining relationships. I'm not talking to people. I'm not reaching out to people because I'm trying to fight for my own life, one day at a time. And it sounds selfish, and it is selfish, but I have to do what I have to do at the end of the day. So the people around me are graceful, beyond graceful. You know, the people that accept me as I am are beyond graceful, and I'm really grateful that I have them in my life. My family, my friends, my support system, you know, my sober people. And yeah, with the help of medication, with the help of a psychiatrist, with the help of other people who are going through depression, who have been in depressions, and who know what this thing is about, that has also helped me a lot. Normalizing the conversations about depression has helped me a lot. I think also getting a diagnosis has helped me a lot. Finally putting a name on what this thing is. Before it was, oh, you know, I'm just moody, always in a bad mood, you know, have anger problems, you know, you're just very tense, you're very intense. But to finally know, okay, I have bipolar type 2 disorder. What does that mean? It means I have more depressions than hypermania. It means that my hypermania acts like this and not like this. It means that it is a severe mental illness and it should be treated as one. It's a disease. It really is. It's a mood disorder. It really is. It makes a lot of sense. It really does. And I need to treat it with medication. Medication that is not cheap at all, that insurance does not cover at all. But yet I have to take on a daily basis in order to keep my moods consistent. And my medication is not a happy medication. You know, antidepressants and mood stabilizers are not, for me, they are not happy pills. They are not happy medications. I don't pop a pill in the morning and go, oh, I'm happy. I pop a pill in the morning and I feel as normal. Or I feel like I can function. I can take a shower, I can eat breakfast, I can do the tasks that I have to do in that day, and go about my day, have dinner, sleep. If there's a disruption in my everyday cycle, then probably the medication needs to change. If there's disruption in my sleep patterns, which I've started to notice. For the past 3 weeks to a month, I haven't been sleeping well. Maybe that's something to do with my medications, or maybe that's just environmental. But that's something that I have to check on. I have to see a doctor about that. Because those are the warning signs of a mental relapse. A mental relapse is going back into the depression. You know, if I'm noticing I'm not eating as well or I'm eating too much, that could be an indication of a relapse back into depression. So things like that. I have to take notice of these things. It could be an indication that my medication needs to change, or the concoction of what I'm taking is not working anymore. And that happens. It gets to a point where the medication or the cocktail of medications that I was on is just not working anymore. And now I need to get onto something else, which is a whole nother journey. Because you can't just get off medication. You can't just stop taking antidepressants. You have to taper down and taper off with the help of a psychiatrist. So I just thought I would share a bit of my journey, my depression journey in 2021. It's December. It's a hard month. It's a difficult month for those of us in recovery, for those of us that are, trying to live a sober life, a mental wellness, a well life mentally. It's difficult. It's the holidays, and these are the times where, we're more prone to isolation. We're more prone to feelings of inadequacy when we look back throughout the year and compare ourselves to others and be like, why I'm not here, I'm not there. And I do that a lot. I compare myself to my peers and other people and say I should be further in life. 2021 was a very hard year. Oh my gosh, psychologically, physically, emotionally, it was a difficult year. But I'm glad to say that with the help of God and even making these videos and you guys, and the support of my family and my friends, I've been able to make it one day at a time sober, by the grace of God. Sobriety is the number one thing. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm also grateful for the gift of life and the gift of just mental wellness and peace. So as we continue December, just hold on to the good things that you have. Hold on to the best things that you have in you. And just keep chipping away at it, one day at a time. If you're in that depression, please get help. It is a disease, it is not your fault, and there are people who can help you. If it's alcoholism, please get help as well. There are 12-step programs that can help you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe and share widely with your friends and your family. I wish you all a festive, it's red, a festive December. And let's just keep sober and mentally well. Cheers, guys.